Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Drake, it looks like Kanye was right, and you ran straight to your rich baby daddy, the head of UMG, Lucian Grange, to make this rain that Kendrick was putting on you stop. Now, listen, this was something floating around Twitter. I saw, but I was like, I mean, it seemed 100% believable. I believed it because after Drake in that song waved the white flag, Kendrick was ready to drop another disc, and this one had a whole bunch of West Coast rappers. Unfortunately, it seems like the whole world was believing what people said about Drake, and it was messing with their money. And by their money, I mean the record label's money. Now, baby, if you don't believe this is true, TMZ came out with a thing talking about their sources said. Remind everybody that TMZ is actually a tabloid. Sir, what sources? What sources? Is his name Break and rhymes with does his name rhyme with break and starts with D? Who are your sources? Y'all, let's get into this mess. Drake was real corny like this, but he showed that he is the ultimate Karen. Literally, he showed he is the ultimate Karen. You start a war, right? When you up, you want everyone to celebrate. You get knocked off the imaginary throne you had by a real artist, baby. You can have as many hits as you want. Kendrick Lamar is the more talented one. Kendrick Lamar is the real artist, and he's the one that gets the most love, right? I do believe that most Drake supporters are Drake like themselves. So that is their king. They need to have hope. But all jokes aside, right? You did all that mess, got your rich baby daddy involved, all because you was losing. But when you thought you had Kendrick on the ropes, you were ha-ha laughing about his kid's paternity. Y'all, this was some Karen mess if I've ever seen this. Again, think about what happened. Here's where it started, right? This is from an insider waiting on proof in the form of documents. Will update whenever I receive it. This was just something on Twitter. They said Kendrick and XO The Weeknd, as of yesterday, were asked by Universal Music Group UMG to end the beef with Drake. Kendrick apparently isn't budging at all, but UMG is pressing hard on the request to squash the beef. UMG also had a Zoom meeting with all the parties involved, and they want Kendrick either directly or said or through who is PG Lang, that's his record label, right? To post a statement clarifying that Drake isn't a pedophile and Kendrick agrees to end the beef. Why would Kendrick do that unless it listen, if they dropped a bat, and this is why I didn't believe it. I mean, I believed that they would have the audacity, but I didn't believe that it would be settled because I was like, unless you drop a huge bat, why? Why? Drake talked about his kid, his girl, his mama, then accused him of being touched. There's no shame in that, but he was trying to shame him about it. It was unhinged. And then talking about you waving a white flag. Ninja, what? After you said all that mess about me and then say, and then I wave a white flag? Nah, Ninja, I will get the last word, right? Anyway, Drake is losing in the beef in UMG's eyes. So from UMG's perspective, the sooner the beef ends, the better. And the pedo accusations, the PDF file accusations directed at Drake are costing UMG, Nike, and other parties a lot of money. Now, this was the rumor. Okay. The post, if you guys will remember, let me just lock in real quick. The post, if you guys will remember, did not have any official anything or even any type of receipts. They just said that they were looking for receipts. Hold on, let me just lock in. What? Hit him up. Okay. They said they didn't have any official or any type of receipt. It would have been obvious to ignore or treat like someone made it up. Okay. But TMZ did a whole article about this. You found one random tweet and did an article. On top of that, right? You remember that night. It was so odd. It screamed something was going on behind the scenes because Kendrick's people before them was alluding to another imminent drop. And this one was going to include a bunch of other West Coast rappers. And then Drake put out that last song where he said at the end he's walking away. And then Kendrick's people say that they won't release anything now that he admitted defeat. Again, Drake is super active on IG all the time. all the time. Okay. If it's not his IG stories, he's under someone's comment section, someone's little sister's comment section. Drake has been also radio silent ever since as well. Okay. Um, yeah, ever since. So let's get into this article because this article is wild, right? Again, shout out to Drake's alleged um sorry, shout out to Drake's alleged rich baby daddy, Lucian. The TMZ is denying this meeting. The fact that they're denying it just makes me believe that it 100% happened. Because why is Drake's team and record labels commenting on a random Twitter post? Like, this is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Let's get into this. TMZ and their sources, right? There's a rumor going around. There's a rumor going around that Drake and Kendrick Lamar's shared music label tried to force them to squash the beef, but it turns out it's totally unfounded. That's right, Drake. Kendrick never said a word back because you just ended him. Now, that said, there's a chance this is all BS because TMZ is TMZ. I'm sick of people acting like they are like, and I know I quote them often, but baby, they are not the New York Times. They are for sale, for hire, for pay. And you know what? Kendrick still might come out with that diss. They said, here's the deal. A blind item was being circulated that purports to have the inside scoop on an alleged meeting between Kendrick, Drake, and the Universal Music Group, which both artists are technically signed to via distribution strategies. Mhm. There's a few bullet points addressed in the blind item, including the claim that UMG Honchos tried to force Kendrick to literally bow down to Drake and apologize and squash things. Anyway, they talk about the blind item. Da, 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 da. Here's the thing, though. It's completely made up and not true. But the thing is, the blind item says that they don't know if it's true and they're looking for receipts or documents to see if it's true. So what? We're told not only did UMG not insert itself here, but our sources who are familiar with the inner workings of the label say Universal would never jump into something like this. Why not? Why not? Drake got a $400 million deal. That's the money he gets. That means the record label probably gets 5 times as much. Why wouldn't a job when two employees are arguing in the front of the house, if you have a client facing job, why wouldn't management actually get involved and be like, can y'all calm this down? Like, we can't do this here. Why wouldn't he? The way it was explained, Kendrick and Drake's beef is between them and completely separate from the business side of things. And UMG doesn't think it's their place to step in either. So they didn't, nor did they ever consider doing some. This is so weird for them to even say they wouldn't try to squash a beef. It doesn't even make sense. Okay, UMG. Mind you, there's also the fact that all these music drops have clearly only helped them. All the tracks between these two guys have spurred lots of streams and plays, and that's dollars for UMG. So objectively, these financial incentives, they have a financial incentive to keep the beef going. Um, Kendrick, I think, owns his own label, but whatever, right? Now, in terms of whether to actually keep going or die on the vine, all signs point to the latter. DJ Head telegraphed this earlier this week, suggesting Drake was throwing in the towel and moving on. Of course, that was before the shooting that took place at Drake's house. Why are they still trying to act like Kendrick had anything to do with this? Again, I've said this once and I said it again. I think Drake turned into the ultimate Karen. Ish went down and you blamed it on the black kid. Kendrick don't got nothing to do with that, Drake. That has to do with you, Baka Not Nice, Pressure, and everybody else in your crew up in Crody doing that stuff. It don't have nothing to do with it. It's sick that not only it's the whole media doing it, Drake's allowing it, but Drake always allowed it. Drake is, and it's something, he is the type of ninja to say the N word with a hard R. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go Google it. It's on TikTok. Anyway, no telling how the unfortunate development affect things in the music space. On the issue of either of these titans being bought in by the principal to work out the problems, we're told it's complete. Listen, the only thing that's complete BS was this whole thing. Drake wants us to believe that Kendrick ended it fair and square. And I don't know what happened. I just know that whatever happened, TMZ is lying. I just know that TMZ is lying. Oh, this came in also. I thought this was super, super interesting. They said if you listen to Euphoria, uh, Oh, Red Bull Racing, that's the one that first posted that said, "Man, ever since my tweet about UMG blew up, I've been getting very interesting DMs to say the least." They said if you listen to Euphoria 616 in LA again, Kendrick didn't make any direct references about Drake's personal life. TDE had information on OVO about family matters and its subject matter, no pun prior. That's why Kendrick was able to put out the fire quick with Meet the Grams. He knew Drake was going to take it personal, and he foreshadowed it in Euphoria to not do that. He said, "No lies on me, no truths about you." But Drake didn't know TDE had OVO information. There was no trap by OVO. Drake is saying that to save face because he has to hold his head down in shame. It was no plan to release Meet the Grams if Drake kept it PG. Although Kendrick doesn't like Drake, he wanted to keep the fire friendly since it's still indirect label ties to Universal. Family Matters to people here was viewed as crossing the red line, so Meet the Grams had to be released. Okay, that's one take. Listen, yeah. I don't know. Listen to this. I wanted to play this for y'all really quick. I'll end this with this. I'm gonna end this with this video, but listen to this. It's actually really funny with the news reporters. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later, but listen to this news report right after.
Security guard who was shot outside the mansion of the rapper, I should say, Drake in Toronto. Security guard who was